Not by might, nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord of hosts. Zechariah 4, verse 6. Welcome to Martial Arts Past and Present with Sensei Ed Briz. Interviews and discussions with martial artists from around the world, along with tournament perspectives. And now, part 2 of Ed's interview with Superfoot Bill Wallace.
Do you agree testing should be done if they know what they're supposed to know for that rank and not before?
In a way, yes. Not only know the techniques, getting back to the kids, not only just know the techniques, knowing why.
Right.
Know why you do it. Yeah. What's your sidekick do? Oh, hits a guy. Well, I've been told I demonstrate the sidekick like last 2 weeks ago Friday. Hit a guy with a sidekick in the air. What's that do? Somebody else, that knocks him out. Well, maybe not. Maybe it just knocks him back and makes him mad.
Mm-hmm.
So all it does is it makes contact. And it creates maybe something else. Well, if you just know the kick, you don't know the effects of that kick. How you make you keep the arm down. You keep that, look at my head. Now I can't bring that shoulder up. Mm-hmm. So now, or I throw the round kick, now you have to block it here, which creates an opening someplace else. A lot of new people that just know the techniques have no idea why. They know how. It's like MMA fighters. You know, they're great fighters, but a lot of times they don't know the whys. They know the hows, but they don't know the why. That's their coach's job, is to teach them why. If this does this, this will happen. This will create this. Now you work here. So, you know, it's like jiu-jitsu. In judo, not only, you can't make black belt in judo unless you win.
Really? That's the only way.
Judo's a competition. Judo was 100% competition. Unless you go to the Kodokan in Japan, in Tokyo. If you go to Kodokan in Tokyo, you can make black belt without competing. But unless you compete, you can make brown belt, but you can't make black belt. It's a sport. It's not an art, it's a sport. The Japanese made it like that.
You see, I kind of agree with that. I think it's a good way.
Yeah. The good thing about it is you might only know 2 or 3 throws, but you throw everybody with those 2 or 3 throws. Duh.
Right.
Well, there's 40 throws in judo. 40. The masters can do all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Guys that win do 3 or 4, maybe 5. But they got those 5 down so good that no matter what position you're throwing.
It's funny you should say that, because what happens is that, and I've seen it, I've done it, I've seen a lot of other people do this. As you're coming up the rank, you're learning tons and tons and tons of different techniques. 5, 7, 20 different ways of getting out of a hold, many different things, okay? But when you become a black belt, you take 5 to 7 things that you've learned over the years that you spent, and you make them yours.
62 years. I've had a side kick, a roundhouse kick, and a hook kick, a back fist or a jab, a hook punch, or a ridge hand on the left side. And they work really good for me. And if you think about it, our job, like I said earlier, our job is to teach all of them. Your job as a student is to pick up the one that you like and get them down perfect.
Right. Right. You master them.
Yeah. In judo, my throws were Seotoshi, Ouchigari, Hanigoshi, and that's it. Four throws. Why? Because I wanted to stand out far away from you. In boxing, listen to this. In boxing, I had 1 defense against the clinch. 1.
What was that?
With glove to glove, we did it in last Friday. Shift, left hook to the ribs, left hook to the head, and I back out in boxing. Or in kickboxing, left hook to the ribs, left hook turn. Now I got the side kick to the ribs. If nothing else, it pushes you away from me. So now I have that distance between us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be close. Nose is still straight. I like that.
Yeah.
But breathe.
Yeah, how'd you manage that? Keep the nose straight all this time.
I wasn't there when you threw the hard punch.
Uh-huh.
This is what's funny too. Everybody watch. If I stand you like this, what do you see to hit? What do you see to hit on me right now? Here. What do you see to hit?
Oh, you want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm only going to verbalize this. I wouldn't do it, but I would go for the midsection.
Look at my face. If I don't move my hands, what's open?
Yeah, you see,
Everything. If I don't move my hands, everything is open. This is open. That's open. Everything is open. That's open. And if you throw the punch straight at me, I get hit right here. That's the knockout, right?
okay.
If I stay and get jabbed here a couple times, turn out it's not funny for that, all right? But now, let's say I turn sideways. Let me do this. And I'm right here. Now you throw that same punch. I just turn the head out of the way, and you've missed.
Mm-hmm.
I turn the nose out of the way, and you've missed. I come across with that left hook, and you're right in the way of it. Or I throw the side kick, you're right in the way of it. Now, what do you see to hit now? The shoulder protects everything else.
Correct.
Now, everything's open. So I take the target away. If you don't have a target, I've worked with boxers before. I've had 4 boxing matches. And I've had 4 wins in box, 4 knockouts. I stand this way I boxed. And people say, you got to bring your left hand up. Why? Well, protect your face. And you talk to a boxing coach, and you know this flat, got scar tissue over his eyes right here. Did you box that way? Yeah. I said, I'll try my way. Because they've been all beat up too. You have to move your hands, right? As I'm moving my hands, I'm open someplace else.
That's correct. And that's why
that shoulder protects everything you can throw. And if you throw the hook, I just lean over. There's the left hook again.
Right. And that's what I was saying before. If you're facing the front, like you were showing me originally, I'm going to go for the body just below your arms because you're not moving them. I'm going to just go there. So this way, now you drop your arms. Now I got the head.
I turn sideways. You don't have the body.
That's correct. That's correct. But the way you were before,
take a boxing
that's what I would have done.
You take a boxing stance. The only kick that you can throw is the front kick with the rear leg. Side kick, why they call it a side kick? Because it comes from the side.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sideways.
Yep. Makes a lot of sense.
You're like a ass kick. You got to really turn hard. It takes forever to get there. Can't throw a spinning back kick because you got to turn real hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm this way, whatever, I got to move. But if I'm sideways, it just comes up naturally.
Right. Right. True. What other styles of martial arts have you studied?
I played taekwondo. I taught for Congaree in Memphis, Tennessee when I was doing my master's work. Taekwondo, Pasu Taekwondo. I've worked with Shoin-ryu. I studied in Shoin-ryu in Okinawa. Like I said, Joe Lewis and I were had the same instructor. He was there a year and a half before me. And basically those Shoin-ryu, boxing, Taekwondo, and Superfoot.
So now you in your schools that you have all over the world, you're teaching the Superfoot system, or are you teaching differently, or added to the Superfoot system?
Take your system, and I just change your system. Let's say you're teaching Goju-ryu. I'll take your system, change you just a little bit, not altogether, but show different aspects that you can use. If you stand in a boxing set, put your hands up like a boxer. What's the first thing you have to do to throw a side kick?
You can't. You're boxing.
Son of a gun. Well, I'm sideways. Now I say throw a side kick. I just bring my leg and throw the side kick. I still pull cross and hook from that position, and the jab cross hook. So I still have everything from right there. I'll Floyd Mayweather. Remember Floyd Mayweather?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not sideways. People have trouble hitting him.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Just the idea. Things that work for you. You know, there's tons of techniques out there. You just have to find, all fighters have to find out the ones that work for them. Remember Nasty Anderson, Steve Nasty Anderson, back in the 90s?
Another name.
Great fighter. He had 2 techniques, back fist, reverse punch. But you couldn't stop it. Till somebody finally learned how to defend it, then he started losing a little bit.
Mm.
But at first, I think he must have went 3 or 4 or 5 years without losing.
That's when you got to change it up.
Yep.
When somebody catches onto it, now you have to change it up.
Yeah. But he wouldn't. So what I do, I change the way I step, how to get close to you, how to work the deception aspect of it. If I throw a jab at your tummy, a jab at your tummy, a jab, pretty soon after the 4th point, you're gonna do that. And there's the one at the face the jab to the face. Or I throw the side kick to the ribs. I bring the side kick up. You bring your elbow down. Look at my head.
Mm-hmm.
God in his infinite wisdom did me a wonderful service. He didn't make these long enough for you to block everything. I appreciate it.
With God, we wouldn't have anything. We know that. We wouldn't be breathing if we didn't have God. Can you share at least one story? I mean, you're Bill Wallace. Can you share one story at least when martial arts helped you outside the ring, or when you weren't fighting in the ring, somewhere on the streets or anything?
My senior year in high school, like I said, I weighed about 130 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure in your high school, there was a junior that wanted to find a senior that he could beat up. Just
Yeah.
Well, I was a senior. The junior picked. His name, I'll leave it at Don. His name was Don. He picked on me for 9 months, pushed me around, bumped into me, knocked me down. Finally, the day before senior week started, I said, Don, enough is enough. When do you want to do this? He said, I'll meet you at the park after school. Fine. This is the first class of the day. Now I have 6 hours. I'm going to worry about this guy that weighs about 230 pounds, 6'2". I'm 130 pounds, 5'5" at the most. I'm going to die. But at least I'm going to stand up to it. So we get to the park. He's got his group of people. I have my group of people stand here. He says, come on. I said, no. You started this thing. You're going to start the fight. I have no idea why I did this. No idea on earth. But I turned sideways. My knee's not bad or anything. I don't know why I did. He throws a Sun Haymaker right hook. I lean back and go, catch him right here. Drop him. He goes down. He says, you mother. I says, he gets up, throws another one. Duh. Down he goes again. He says, I'm done. I said, no, you're not. I got 9 months of this to put up with. Get up, But I cut him really bad across the eye.
Yeah.
So, and the classic bullying thing, right? Because he was the middle linebacker for the high school football team.
Okay. Yeah, that explains it.
Exactly. So, so I go home. My dad's waiting for me. He says, come on, we're going to go see your friend. Who's my friend? The kid you put in the hospital. I went, Dad, you don't understand. My dad's a principal in high school.
Oh.
Yeah. I said, Dad, you don't understand. He said, get in the car. And I'm trying, and he's not saying it. We're driving up here. We get to the hospital. We go to the emergency room. My dad looks at, now Don's probably 6'3", 6'4", 230 pounds. Dad goes, his dad looks at me and goes, and my dad says, apologize to him. I said, Dad, he said, apologize. I said, Don, I'm sorry. His dad said, apologize. I said, Don's okay, you're no problem. Now, here's the funny thing. For you people that have been bullied, for 9 months, he's picked on me, understand? I mean, for 9 months, he's picked on me. He says, what are you doing after I get stitched up? I says, I don't know why. He says, well, maybe we can go to the park after school and get an ice cream. Talk this over. And I said, well, my dad said, no, we got to get home. Okay. So we get home. And my dad's all happy and all this stuff. So I get to school the next morning. I'm called in the principal's office. The principal, Mr. Martin, says, I'm going to have to expel you from school, Bill. How do you figure that? He said, well, you got in a fight. You hurt a kid. I said, the fight was at the park. It was not on school grounds. He said, well, you're still going to have to expel you. I said, just a minute. So I called my father. My father is older than Mr. Martin is. And Mr. Martin's scared of my dad. Dad said, I tell Dad, I says, put Mr. Martin on the phone. So I give the phone to Mr. Martin. Yes, sir. He hangs up and says, go back to class, Bill.
I love it.
But all of a sudden, nobody picked on me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time I've ever hit anybody in the head. First time. Not the only, but the first time. And I went, I mean, you really, I was up to that point, I thought if you got punched in the mouth, you were going to die.
Sure.
You watch a movie, bam, and the guy's, or a boxing match, the guy gets knocked out. But, found out real quick that half those shots do nothing. They might score, but they don't do anything. I fought Joe Louis in 1990 in Lake Tahoe. I hit Joe with probably the best hook kick I've ever thrown in my life. My friends have heard this story. I caught him right here with a hook kick. I said, "Oh my God, I've killed Joe Louis." I hit him. He backs up and goes, "Ow."
Oh, that does something to you.
Just kidding. So, it's like if you have an ending thing that you want to talk about, says you can throw the best shot that you've ever thrown at somebody. And maybe nothing happens. And you go, "Oh shit."
Mm.
You can throw the weakest, floppiest thing you've ever thrown in your life, hit him in the right spot, and he goes down. And you go, "What's that all about?" His ability to take it, your ability to throw it, and all we can do, and this is what I try to end a lot of things with, all I can do throughout my entire life is throw the technique. Whatever that technique may be, all I can do is throw it. Whatever happens after that, it's up to the person I'm sparring with.
Mm-hmm.
Life itself.
I understand. I know this. I'm almost positive all this is true. I understand you were hired as security for some TV and movie stars. You also trained a few. I'm sure the audience would love to hear some of these stories.
I fought at a tournament. A lot of people might know him. A guy named Skipper Mullins. He's from Dallas, Texas. I fought Skipper at the United States Championships in Dallas, Texas, 1973. It was between Skipper and I who were the better kickers. I won the match with kicks. So people say all kinds of things. But unbeknownst to everybody, Elvis Presley was in the auditorium up in the balcony to where nobody could see him. So I win the tournament. I go back to Memphis, go back to teaching at Congress School. All of a sudden, there's a commotion out in the 48, the front of the office. In walks Elvis Presley with Linda Thompson and Red West and a bunch of guys. And Congress says, "Mr. Wallace." I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "Mr. Presley want to meet you." Huh? Well, I knew Chuck a long time before he was a movie star, so it was just still Chuck.
Right.
All of a sudden, here we have Elvis Presley, who's king of everything, wants to meet me.
Yeah.
Well, guys, and we back and forth. And, don't think anybody, he invited me out to the house a couple times. So I graduate. I move back up to Indiana. I moved back up in January. In March, I get a phone call, Red West. Red says, "Bill, just a minute." Elvis Presley's on the phone. "Bill, we'd like you to move back to Memphis. I'd like to open up a place where I could train and work out. I do martial arts. I'll pay you, blah, 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 blah. What do you say?" Yeah, I obviously done it, So the funny thing is, my father called just a couple of hours before that. Well, he wanted me to call him. I did an interview that day to teach a school. And it was in Frankfort, Indiana. They wanted to be a shop teacher because my minor was industrial education. And because of my wrestling background, I was going to be the assistant wrestling coach, getting that many dollars. Zero. Because the assistant gets nothing, but when the wrestling coach resigns, I'll get another $600 a year. Goody. But anyway, and I'm thinking, how can I tell my dad I don't want to do this? I know how I can do it. So I called my father up. I said, "Hi, Dad, how you doing?" He said, "They want you." And I said, "Yes, sir. Put Mom on the phone." So Mom gets on the phone. I says, "Mom, I know my father wants me to be a school teacher, but I just took a job working for Elvis Presley." Mom, you there?" Dad? He says, "What'd you just tell your mother?" "I just told her I just took a job working for Elvis Presley." Dad, you there? But the funny thing is, all the way up until I won the world championship in 1974. My father, who wanted me to be a school teacher, kept saying to me, when are you going to quit doing this shit and get a job? He wanted me to teach school. And I would like to think that I did his job, because I think I've influenced more people in the last 60 years than I would have ever influenced them being a school teacher.
It's just not the same teacher he wanted you to be.
Exactly. Then right after that, I'm talking to my wife. I said, we're going back to Memphis. And then all of a sudden, I get another phone call from a guy named Mike Anderson. Started kickboxing.
Uh-huh.
He said, we just picked a team to go to Europe. I said, uh-huh. He says, you're our middleweight. I said, fine, when are we going? He says, you don't understand, Bill. We're going the end of May, but you don't understand. We're going to do kickboxing. Yeah. I understand. We're going to spar in Memphis, or we're going to spar in Berlin. He says, you don't understand. This is kickboxing. We fight to the knockout. Well, Mike, you guys have a wonderful time for yourself. I'm staying here because I can go, yeah, I can kill you. I don't have to prove it. And then Mike, down. In Goju, they have a seniority division, right? Seniority aspect of the Goju system.
Mm-hmm.
You're 10th on, I'm 9th on. You tell me what do I do, right? Joe gets on the phone. Remember, he's my senior. He says, right. Bill, you got to do it. Joe, I don't want to do it. I don't want to get beat up. I don't want to get I get massacred. Because they'll take my shots and beat the shit out of me. I said, no, you're going to do it. I don't want to, please. But he talked me into it. And probably the best thing he ever did. Because of the wrestling background, being able to take a shot and having the common sense to stay away, I had the longevity. People don't realize I was national champ for 3 years in a row before we did kickboxing.
Wow.
71, 72, 73. According to,
see, there's a lot of information that people don't know about you. This is very interesting.
I really had a good time point fighting.
Yeah.
And to me, it was a game. You say you and I spar, Ed, and I touch you before you touch me, I win. It's not who hit who the hardest. It's not who the quickest was. But if I score on you before you score on me, hell, I fought Joe Louis in 1970. At that time, he weighed probably 212. I might have weighed 140. I win the lightweight division. He wins the heavyweight division. I swept him with the front leg, swept his rear leg, punched him as hard as I could right in the chest. He said, point. I said, yes, it was. I got the point. And that's when I realized is, you know what? Some of the shit doesn't work. Because, I threw it as hard as I could throw it. And Joe being tough and strong, I took it. He must hit me 15 shots. And that's when I realized all I got to do is touch it. And
I find most fights are won with the basic stuff you learned when you were a white belt.
Never threw anything different. Back fist is probably the second hand technique you've ever taught. And why do you think, and this is number one, at all the competition throughout the world, the number one hand technique combination is back fist reverse punch.
Yep.
Or jab cross in boxing, or cross in Muay Thai, or jab cross in MMA. Why? It's the first one you were taught.
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
It practiced all that over and over and over and over and over and over. So you just got it down. For me, it was back fist side kick because I'm sideways. And I'm left-handed. This right just does a really good job of protecting my face. So my first combination was a back fist side kick.
Well, yeah, that's what I always. That's what I always felt is that fights, whether they're in the ring or outside the ring, they're won with basics. A nice back fist connecting with what I call the temple on the side, right on the side of your eye, just drop like a sack of potatoes if you hit it right.
Alma did an article when he was alive a long time ago. He said the most important punch he ever learned was the jab. It's fast. It's quick. It keeps the bad guys away and sets up everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. I'm standing here and you decided to come back. It's that fast. I don't have to turn, I don't have to twist. It just snaps it out back. Bam. And it hits you right here.
Right.
If nothing else, you stop right in your tracks. He might not hurt you, but you stop. And you say, what the hell was that? Now I'm gone. Either that or you change your mind and I beat me up.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's the thought of fighting it's not who the strongest is. It's not who the toughest is. Look at George Foreman when Ali fought him. I mean, he was unbeatable until Ali made him get tired.
Right.
Same thing with Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston is bad, but if you're not there, what good does it do for you to do all that punching if I'm not there?
Right. That's. I mean, I don't know about the ring, but in the streets, if the fight lasts any more than 3 seconds, you're done.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of times when jiu-jitsu first came out, it said, well, you want to take the guy to the ground. No, you don't. The last place a police officer ever wants to be is on the ground. He's got 45 pounds of equipment on. You're laying on the ground. How are you going to get up?
Right. Right.
And if we're laying on the ground, if I'm on top of you, I'm just as close to your weapon as you are.
But in the academies, they're teaching them BJJ.
Oh, bull crap. Because if I'm on the ground and you're on top of me, I'll just grab your weapon and blow your head off. Or grab your mace, or grab your taser, or
Right.
grab you by the nuts.
But
Yeah.
I mean, all the people I know, they're in law enforcement, and I've talked to them, and even some that I've trained personally, they all say the same thing. The training they get in the academy, at least now, I don't know about before, but now is BJJ.
Reason for that is compliance. I'm saying to you this way. You'll grab my arm, put my arm behind you, do what it is to put me on the ground, or whatever the case may be. But what if I say, you, and I'm going to fight you, and I've turned sideways? Now, you've got that 45 pounds of equipment on that you're not going to move very fast.
That's
And
right.
all of a sudden, you're 5 feet away from me. How are you going to grab me? You got to come towards me. And if you come towards me, I'm allowed to defend myself.
Right.
And people don't realize it. I'll just take your knee out. I got
Mhm.
the high kicks, but it takes about 16 pounds of pressure to take your knee out. Ask a football player.
Yeah, they'll know. That's from the side, though, not straight on.
BJJ now, MMA, they allow side kicks to the knee.
Do they?
Yes, they do. It's in just lately, a couple of years ago. And I go, wow, that shows you how much Dana White cares about the athletes.
Yeah.
I hit you in the knee just right. You're done. You're done. You're retired.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Realize that.
I agree.
Worst injury for a football player to get is his knee. Because he's
Yeah,
done.
it'll never be the same.
I don't know.
You're better off, as you know, you're better off with a hip
Oh, yeah.
replacement than you are with a knee replacement. Bill, what's the most proudest achievement that you have from the martial arts so far?
From the martial arts,
Yes.
I retired undefeated.
Wonderful.
I think that I was smart enough not to stay with it. See, I taught at Memphis State also, so I didn't need the money. I was a professor at Memphis State University, so I didn't need the money. Plus, I was doing this stuff for Elvis, so I didn't need the money. So once it stopped being fun, understand this. Once it stopped being fun, I said, "Why do this anymore?" See, fighting has always been fun to me. I never thought I was Billy Bad Butt. As we talk now, I'm not Billy Bad Butt, but I like to fight.
Mm.
So I have no ego about giving it up.
That's great.
All I know is the longer I fight, the more chance I have of losing.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't like it, and if I'm getting tired of it, I might not train tomorrow. Maybe I don't work out next week. Maybe I take the weekend off and just party a little bit. Now, pretty soon, I'm 165, but all of a sudden now I just became 170. 5 pounds is not a lot, but it slows you down. And you
Right.
don't care as much, so pretty soon you don't go as hard as you want to go. And
Although you've never lost
but
a
there's
fight, I mean, when it comes down to it, if there is somebody out there that can beat you, you just haven't met him yet. Right.
it's always
Right.
that. He said he wants it, and you don't care as much.
Yeah. Me, I've met mine many times.
When I fought point tournaments, it was fun. If you beat me, I can come up with all kinds of reasons why you won and I lost. They didn't see my points, you got lucky, or whatever the case is. But in kickboxing, if you beat me, it's because I'm trying to kill you. Because I'm going to win. Then
Mhm.
my thought was, I'm going to win. I'm sorry, we're having fun, but I'm going to win. And if I have to hurt you, I'm sorry.
But you have to.
I have to, yeah, because that's part of it.
That's right.
I've had guys come in the ring and go, breathe on me, almost spit on me. Somebody said, "What? You're getting tired. Keep talking. You're getting tired. You're my turn."
Yeah.
Like,
just wait for it. That's it. Exactly.
my time.
Yeah. Have you ever had a moment where you wanted to quit? And if you did, what kept you going? Never? So since you started back in the 60s, you've never wanted to quit even for a little while?
I had the hips fixed for them, the right knee fixed. I had sepsis back in 2017, even as I was supposed to die because sepsis is a killer. But I said, yeah, I want to get out of here. I'm going to work out a little bit. And I'm dying. I'm dying, and I'm still trying to walk around, still trying to do a little couple kicks once in a while. Do sitting in bed going poof, 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 poof. Just movement. Because I know if I'm moving, that's working.
Mm-hmm. Did the sepsis come from one of the knee replacements or hip replacements?
I had a hernia fix that went bad.
That was what it was from? Wow.
I got kicked in the groin back in 1972 at a point tournament and lost my left testicle. Had to take it out because it got ruptured. And through the years, it just the prostate says things happen. And through the hernia fix, the prostate swelled up, closed off the urethra tube. So it was probably a good 5 or 6 days went by before I could pee.
Wow.
And I couldn't pee. They had to operate on me. They had to put a catheter in.
Wow.
Those were fun. But anyway, and finally, I had to have the surgery for a hernia fix. And that's when the catheter the urethra tube swelled up and the prostate swelled up and cut off the blood supply. When my wife took me to the emergency room, I had 0 blood cells, no red blood cells, no white blood cells, and the kidney was already failing. But I'm not a religious person. But the doctor says to me, you're probably not going to make it through the night, Bill. You're probably not going to make it. So he wheels me over in the corner. This is the truth. He wheels me over the corner, and we're just going to have to wait because there's nothing they could do. So God and I had a hell of a talk. I called him every name in the book.
Oh,
no. That's just good. I called him every name in the book, told him what I thought of him. Matter of fact, the doctor wrote I was uncooperative on the sheet because I was screaming and hollering.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty soon, the doctor comes over and says, Bill, have you ever had a transfusion? I said, no. He says, I want to try a transfusion. There's the white blood cells. There's the red blood cells. There's the kidney start working again.
And it worked.
It worked perfectly. And I still thank him. And here's the funny thing, too, is while I'm in the hospital, I was there for like 5 days. They put me through 3 MRIs from the top of my head all the way down to my toes. No cancer at all. Only thing problem. And anybody ever have prostate problems? Okay. They want to check your prostate. How do they check your prostate?
I'm not going to get into it. You can tell them if you want. I'm not going to get into it.
Not it. That's not it. They take a camera about yay big around and stick it up your pecker. Take a camera to take a picture to see if there's any cancer in there. My wife says, I'll hold your hand. And the doctor says, no, you won't. Give me my balls. Have me grab hold of something. And I'm there, oh, shit, that hurt. But I took pictures of everything. I had no problem at all. Mm-hmm. No cancer, nothing. Just an enlarged prostate.
That's all it was. That's good. That's all it was.
And I'm fine now.
Yeah. God's calling you. God's calling you. You better listen.
We had a talk. And,
okay.
No. We've had a talk.
We'll talk to him more.
I do.
Okay, good.
Hey.
Good.
Every day. That's why nothing hurts. I'm fine.
That's good. Bill, who's the most interesting opponent or training partner you've ever faced?
All right, Joe Louis.
Joe Louis? And why?
We sparred in competition 3 times. I won all 3. He's this tough son of a gun. Believe me, that guy is a bad dude. And I've seen him fight and hurt people on purpose. And just like when I fought him, he could have taken my face off, but it was controlled. And then sometimes he'll say, when we did the exhibition match in Lake Tahoe, that he had to go too easy on me. I said, Joe, I'm 165 pounds. I'm an ex-wrestling judo player. You couldn't hurt me if you had a hammer. Kidding, but I said, just hit me. If you think you hurt me, back off, so I can regain. If you think you hurt me, and I'll do the same to you, like I'm going to hurt him, right? but that's it. He said, I said, if you think you hurt me, back off. Fighters aren't going to know, because I don't get her. I can take your best shot to my body. I can take your best shot to my chin, because this is in the way.
Right.
Well, when people say, well, I can do this, you can't. This has worked for 62 years. Maybe I'm not as fast as I used to be. Maybe not as strong as I used to be, but it still works.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. I wouldn't want to find out. I'll tell you that much. I wouldn't want to find out. If you can train with any martial arts legend, not you, any other martial arts legend, living or dead, who would it be and why?
I would have loved to train with Bruce Lee.
Okay.
I met him in 1967, but I would have loved to work out with him just because we have the same philosophy, speed. I don't want to be strong. I want to be fast, because there's always somebody out there faster than you are. There's always somebody out there stronger than you are. But nobody ever has to be sneakier than you are. And in speed, you have that sneak. If I do, you got to react to it. Then the combination works.
Mm-hmm.
See, power, I just back up.
Did you ever get to meet him?
I met him in 1967 at the Internationals in Los Angeles.
Okay. So you met him, you just never got a chance to work out with him.
Very arrogant, but he deserved it. He was doing something that the rest of us thought about, but could never do. I mean, if you watch him, his techniques, hand techniques, were basically boxing techniques. Not a jab this, but this. And did that. Rather than back up. His kicking, he learned his kicking techniques from Jun Ri. Wing Chun is what the system he worked in, what we're talking about. In Wing Chun, there are no kicks. If they are, to the knee.
Yeah, I don't remember any in there at all.
Wanted something to look good theatrically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Jun Ri taught him different kicking techniques, and there's your kicking techniques. Boxing techniques with Jun Ri. Remember when he did Enter the Dragon? He wore those.
I was a little kid.
Yeah, but he wore kendo gloves at the start of the movie when he fought Sammo Hung.
Right. All right. Here's a good one for you. What's your favorite martial arts movie or fight scene?
My favorite one? You know what?
Whether you were in it or not.
Think about this. I watched Best of the Best. So it's Phil Briz. They're both my friends. Phil Briz, Simon Ree.
Okay.
The fight scene looked really, really superb. Superb. Now, you know what's even better? The Three Stooges. No. Watch them when they do their stuff. When they do their slapstick stuff. Yep. I look for misses, because I've been doing this for a while. I look for misses, and I can't find any misses. Where you're angled wrong, or you miss. They look to me like they beat the living shit out of each other.
They do. Yeah.
No. And you go, wow, that's great. I mean, the filming is superb. But I still like, Best of the Best in the fight scenes.
Best of the Best. I love that movie. I thought it was a great movie.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoyed it. I really loved the bar scene with the shuto to the neck. I really love that one.
You do half this stuff. If you think about it, if I hit you just perfectly like here, maybe it works. But if I have a good neck, that carotid artery is now protected.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the jar knocks me out a little bit, but it doesn't drop me. Just like in Goldfinger, remember when he goes,
yes,
Just going to knock you out for what, 3 seconds, 4 seconds?
Yeah, if you're lucky. Yeah. Right. Right. Exactly.
The fight scenes looked realistic, and it was a fight. So that's what I liked about it. It was movement combinations, and it looked really good.
That's great. Yeah, that was a very good movie. I enjoyed it. And as for the Three Stooges, I never really thought about it, but you're right. I mean, think about it. I mean, even with the figures to the eyes and right, yeah.
Yeah.
They really looked like they were beating on each other a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. I hope this question's okay with you. And if you don't want to answer it, you don't have to answer it. How do you hope that your contributions to martial arts will be remembered in the future?
I would like to be remembered
Just plain and simple.
As a decent fighter.
Okay.
These guys out there nowadays are absolutely fantastic. You watch the MMA guys, you watch the kickboxers, you watch Muay Thai. I mean, they've come such a long way. Back when in the old days, in 1966, 67, 68, the number one technique in the entire world in karate was a reverse punch.
Mm.
Not a back fist, just a reverse punch. Oh yeah, Shotokan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a reverse punch. No, very little kicking, maybe a front kick. And then in 1969, when Taekwondo came along, there was the spinning back kick. But at first, it just I like that I was an okay guy.
Well, you're more than okay, and I know a lot of people would agree with that. Like I said, with the time I've spent with you recently and everything, it's just, and even with the show, I mean, I didn't expect this from you. When I met you, I expected to be one of those hard type guys. Okay, and you're not. You're not. You're just a friendly guy, and that's a great thing.
I want to get in a fight. I want to pick on. And nowadays, there's nothing to keep you in Florida. They've just announced we have open carry.
Yes, I heard.
So I come to you and I call you an asshole, and I go like this to you. You pull your gun and blow my head off.
Yeah,
I've invaded your space. I don't invite anybody's space. I'm not. Hey, I've honked my horn at people that's pulled out in front of me. They roll. You mother, kill you. Sorry. Gee. So I just okay. You do whatever you want to do.
right.
And if you touch me, I'll kill you.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You're right. It isn't worth it. I have so many questions for you. I could keep you here for the next 3 hours. But we've already been going for a long time. Can you just briefly tell us what it was like before any styles of martial arts? What it was like overseas and before it came to America?
When I was there wasn't any. Matter of fact, Robert Trias, as far as I know, opened the first martial arts school, Shorei-Ryu, in Phoenix, Arizona, 1948, when he came back from the service. That's, as far as I know, that was the first karate school. Judo became popular in 1960 when they had the Olympics in Japan.
Okay.
And but I played judo there because it was like wrestling. Then I go to Okinawa. All I know is Shorin-Ryu. That's it. But I found out when I'm in Okinawa, there was Shorin-Ryu, Shobayashi Shorin-Ryu. There's Kobayashi Shorin-Ryu. There's Matsubayashi Shorin-Ryu. There's Matsumura Shorin-Ryu. Well, there's three of us right here, or the two of us right. There's three of us right, two of us right here, right? Well, you don't do it the way I do it, so you can call whatever you do. I call what I do Wally-Ryu.
Wally-Ryu.
Well,
good.
I can teach you for the next 20 years, Ed, and you're not going to do it the way I do it.
Okay.
Boxing trainer. He'll have you do this, go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But you're still not doing it the way he did it. Maybe you'll do it better, but you won't do it his way. They used to measure us. We'd be in a Zenkutsu Dachi, forward stance. Measure from our front heel to our rear toes. Had to be the same for everybody. You're 6'3", it's going to be the same as me at 5'5".
How is that?
I hear you, but that militaristic. It's militaristic. That's what martial means, military.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense, but you can't have this. How can you have the same distance? It's going to change everything up if you're.
If you look at Zenkutsu Dachi, the forward stance, it should be about maybe double shoulder width apart, max. You move from there. Americans have screwed it up because they want to look really, really neat, especially for forms competition. So you get this really, really low Zenkutsu Dachi forward stance. Try to move from that stupid thing. Or got to get a real low kibidachi, horse stance. Right. First thing you have to do is come up. Well, now you just told me you're moving.
Telegraphing.
Yeah, shit, a horse stance about that wide. Not that.
Right.
So you can move.
Right.
The pace.
I call it a modified horse stance. Do it the way you're saying.
Yeah. But it's like you got to do something that works for you. And for the fourth people, they want to look good. Long time ago, Chuck Norris won the internationals form competition a couple times.
Say that one again.
Chuck Norris forms competition at the internationals in Los Angeles a couple times.
Really?
And won the fighting. But now, if you think about it, the people that do forms don't even fight.
No, they don't. Most of them don't. Most of them don't.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, you're thinking of forms. All of a sudden, you use something absolutely stupid like going, "Hey, yeah," the guy nails you in the face. Oh, forgot,
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that, with the forms, one of the things I don't like is that when they're doing forms, and every single move they make, they're yelling. Their ki, and it's not even a ki. They're just screaming at the top of their lungs, and it looks like a blood vessel's going to pop.
On the trip from Sarasota down to Punta Gorda. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
It's the purpose of a ki.
Yep. Go ahead, tell everybody.
We've been told the ki is strengthen your core. Exhale that air, strengthens the muscles slightly, whatever. Primarily, the ki can be all of those, plus stereo when I yell, yeah, but primarily is to exert the bad air and bring in the good air. All of you, do that. Breathe out real fast.
I'll do it with you.
Just like that. What'd you just do? You breathe in. If I go, now I have to breathe out before I breathe in. Like, now the air is natural. And if you check your heart rate as you're doing that, hitting the bag, your heart rate will stay fairly normal. If you watch boxers, they hit it, send the bad air out, bring in the good air. Bodybuilders, weightlifters, get out the bad air, bring in the good air.
Right.
But and in short root system, the ki is the last movement of the form. Because that's the kill.
That's the only time.
It's the end of the fight.
Yeah. Like we talked about that trip that we took. I had thought that the Goju system had two ki's in it, and you corrected me on that, and you said no, there's only one at the end.
Don't know the Goju system. You might have two, but in the Shorin-ryu system, there's only one.
Okay.
That's at the end of it to end the fight. That's the killing shot. If you think this really, really worked, boxers that are getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars, but they use their own clothes. So they don't want to get their jaw broken. Exhale, bring in the back. Take out the bad air, bring in the good air.
Bill, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I'm having a blast.
I know, right? I would love to go longer.
I do have to pee. So I had this big old coconut. It's all coming out.
Okay. Well, just don't do it while we're on the air, okay? Yeah.
All done it. We've all been in the car, and the car won't pull over. Hold on, let me have the cup.
Yeah. Believe me, I feel the same way right now because it has been a while that we've been on. But I'll tell you, man, this has been great. I've enjoyed this so much.
My God.
Yeah. I want to thank you. I want to
2 hours. 2 hours. I quit. I'm going home.
It is almost 2 hours. Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
I want to thank you for allowing me to interview you. I would love to have you come back again, and we can take off from where we left off and do more.
Yeah, call. We'll do it.
Bill, if people want to, and I'm going to make this quick, so we got to go. If people want to know more about you, how can they find you?
Superfootsystem.com.
Okay. And is there any other way? You have a Facebook or anything like that?
Just that.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, my friend. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I've enjoyed this time, I got to tell you. And I really want you to come back in the near future.
I'll do it. Thank you.
Make sure you look into Super Patch. It's great for boosting immunity, athletic performance, pain reduction, and much more. Visit mapap.superpatch.com to learn more. Thank you for joining us today. To learn more about us, visit our Substack at martialartspastandpresent.com. If you would like to support us, go to patreon.com/martialartspastandpresent. If you like the content and have not yet subscribed, you can find us on all of the major platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube.